Thanks so much for joining me today. Hope you guys are having a lovely summer in the Northern Hemisphere, wherever you are, and staying cool. It's been quite a heat wave this summer. So I'm really excited to finally do this much requested video on how I keep my hair, my locks, moisturized. I am so excited to share some of these tips. I hope they're helpful for you. Before I go into it, I just want to remind you guys in the Southern California area about 2 more events around Delicious Healing, my book. Coming up this Sunday, July 22nd, if you are a woman of color in the Santa Barbara area, come on by. I will be doing an event at Pura Luna Apothecary. The link to that information is in the description box below. And to everyone, the next one is open July 27th in San Diego at Healing Hands, and that is open to everyone. And I'll be ending the US leg of the dance book tour in San Diego on the 27th. So come by, check it out. Check out the link in the description box below for more information. So this video, how do I keep my hair moisturized? So I've had locks, again, I've shared before. I have a video here on my freeform lock journey, so check that video out if you need to. But I've had locks now for, I'll lose count to be honest, but it's about 22 years, 23 years. And so I've tried all different things to keep my hair moisturized, and have now have a regimen that I feel like works wonderfully well for me. My hair is super soft and really light and healthy, which is these are the most important things to me, and feels well hydrated. So I wanted to give you 7 tips, 7 offerings, 7 suggestions for having your hair, your locks, feel really well hydrated, moisturized, conditioned, and also healthy. So my first tip is actually to do less. And what I mean by that is to avoid using too many products. I think a lot of us think that to condition our hair, to moisturize our hair, we need an oil, we need a gel, we need some sort of butter, we need tons of sprays. And one thing is, I've already talked about in other videos of mine, so check those hair videos out that I have, that putting a lot of commercial products on your scalp, on your hair, can actually be quite toxic because of some of the ingredients that are on there. There are, however, some natural great products on the market, but just read the ingredients every single time. As a minimalist, as somebody who loves simplicity, I love to keep it simple. And it was so freeing for me to get rid of a lot of these products, oils and butters, and what did I used to use on my hair? Gels to try to moisturize my hair. There are other ways that you can do that, and in fact, when you put a lot of these oils, especially on your scalp, you can clog up the pores and clog up the follicles and prevent healthy growth and healthy sebum distribution, which can actually impede and prevent the moisturizing process. So tip number 2, how do you then moisturize your hair? Remembering the hair, the growth of the hair, and the moisturizing from the hair comes from the hair follicle, which comes from our scalp. And so one way to increase moisturizing, natural moisturizing, is actually to increase circulation to the scalp. And I do that through massaging my scalp, and I do this a few times a week. I definitely do it before I wash my hair, but I also do it as part of my sensual evening self-care practice a couple of times a week. And it literally just looks like using the pads of my fingers and really taking time to deeply massage my entire scalp. Sometimes putting my head upside down so that the blood goes to my head more, and really massaging, loosening up any dead skin and getting the blood vessels opening up, getting circulation. Circulation brings oxygen, and all of that promote hair growth and hair health and moisturizing of the scalp and the hair. So massaging is my second tip. So my third tip is actually doing a leave-in hair rinse, an herbal rinse. I love to make herbal rinses at home, and I have another video. You can check out my herbal rinse, my herbal natural hair wash video on this channel. So check that out for the herbs I use. The herbs I use are both strengthening and conditioning. And I use this herbal rinse and I leave it in my hair to work its magic and do some conditioning and natural moisturizing. So my fourth tip, I do use something that I love, 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 love. Outside of using my herbal hair rinse and leaving that in, if I have it available to me, and I try to have it available, is, where is my little thing? Here it is. Rose water. I love rose water. And rose water is basically purified distilled water with rose petals, essential rose oil, and it's structured water. Rose water actually has a lot of antioxidants. People don't realize this. And this is really helpful again for nourishing the scalp and the hair follicles. So helping naturally with nourishment, with growth, with moisturizing. Plus, it comes in the form of water, and the water, and the rose water specifically, is really helpful. I found a big difference in when I use rose water for the softness and the moisturizing, the hydration and health of my hair. So I use this every time actually I wash my hair, and that ends up being a few times a week. So this tip, a lot of y'all might already know, which is the whole thing of wrapping your hair at night so that your hair doesn't get dry, so that you don't get a lot of frizz, so you don't leak out natural moisture from your hair. I'm gonna be really honest with you. I've never been a big fan of wrapping my hair at night. I kind of like my hair out. And at the same time, I do want to protect my hair. I do want it to be well taken care of. So here's a little tip from a minimalist to me that I've been using now for a few years. I have a lovely satin kimono that I love so much. There are holes in it now. But if you check out my Everything I Own video, my wardrobe video, which you find out that I have less than 30 items of clothing, and I'm very happy with that. I have, as one of those less than 30 items of clothing, my satin kimono. Satin is the material that I would use to wrap my hair. I don't really like silk too much because of the ethical issues I have around silk, but I do love satin. And so here's my satin kimono. And so instead of wrapping my hair at night with a satin scarf, what I do is I take off my kimono at night and I'll just leave my kimono underneath my head. So it's kind of like, or over the pillow. I don't sleep on a pillow, so I just have the satin kimono spread out, and it's underneath my hair. And so I sleep on that at night, and so my hair is protected by lying on the satin so the hair itself doesn't dry out so much. So that's a little quick tip, a personal tip on multifunctionality of your satin robes. So tip number 6 is to remember, as without, so within, meaning this moisturizing of the hair, hydration, nourishment of your hair actually begins with what you're putting inside of your body. So staying well hydrated will help with the moisturizing and conditioning of your hair. And what I'm basically saying is take in more fluids, good fluids, not dehydrating fluids like caffeinated beverages, sodas, and coffee, even too much matcha or green tea. All of that is actually dehydrating because of the caffeine component. Instead, taking in really hydrating fluids like water, and even more I think I love are your coconut water, which is full of tons of electrolytes, as well as water from fruits. This is the summertime. I have been digging my melons, my watermelons, so much. You can check me out on Instagram for my pictures that I constantly post about what I'm eating, so you can take a look at that. Watermelons, I'm loving. Grapes, I'm loving. And all of this has the best water inside of it in the world because it's filtered through the plant. And so getting in that water, hydrating yourself internally will result in more luscious, soft conditioned locks. And last but not least, I wanted to share this one because we were just in Costa Rica and I definitely felt a huge difference between my hair needs when I was in Costa Rica and my hair needs when we are currently in Ojai. So we're in Ojai, California, which I love, but in general, or compared to the true tropics, Ojai is a little bit drier. It's not crazy desert dry at all, but it's nowhere as humid as, for example, New York City or Houston, Texas in the summertime, and not as humid as Costa Rica in the rainy season. So I noticed in Costa Rica that my hair was fluffing up more because of that humidity, and in Ojai, not so much. So I'm needing my rose water more in Ojai than I am in Costa Rica. And for those of you out there who use humectants like glycerin, I just want to give you a piece of advice because I lived in New York City for 10 years, and glycerin in the summertime, you want to be careful because if you're in a humid environment, it can be great because humectants will pull out the water from the environment, from a humid environment, and put it into your hair and help with moisturizing. But if you're in a very dry environment, that's not going to work as well. If your hair is moisturized, it may actually pull water out from your hair shaft and put it into a dry environment. So it's really important to know what your environment is, to be aware of the humidity factor, and then to adjust your hair moisturizing regimen as such. I just wanted to leave with that because I think sometimes we think what works in the winter will work in the summer, what works in Costa Rica or one place will work in another, and it doesn't work that way. So constantly keep checking with your body and your hair and figuring out what you need and adjusting it as needed. So I hope those tips are helpful for you. Please leave in the comments below some of the tricks and tips you'd love to share with the community on how you keep your hair healthy and nourished, really well moisturized. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more videos, and I send you so much love. Take care.